All right, I'm going to go back to yes. All right. All right. Here we go. Welcome to Hemp Your Health. I'm Christy, Director of Education at Seed to System, and your host. And I've really missed everyone for 2 weeks in a row. We've been having technical difficulties. So thank you for your patience. Everyone that's been calling to ask where Hemp Your Health is, thank you for showing up. And thank you for showing up for our guests because they really come. Whoops, hold on 1 second. They really show up. Oh my gosh. There we go. They really show up as experts with all this expertise and wisdom, which reminds me, Hemp Your Health is an educational and informational show. And our experts do bring their wisdom, intelligence, and experience for the betterment of humans, animals, plants, and the planet. And today's topic is so important because this topic and this condition increases all causes of death by 69%. And what that means is it exacerbates all your underlying conditions. So everything feels more stressful. Our topic and our guest today is anxiety, postpartum depression with Amy Chin. Amy Chin is the founder of Calm Better Days, and her path to CBD was due to anxiety and postpartum depression. And after she started incorporating CBD into her daily routine, she noticed being more present and mindful and patient. And she was able to flow with all the twists and turns of life instead of reacting to them. After she started to recognize all these changes, and she'll tell her story, she said, oh my gosh, everyone needs to know about this. And she knew she had to help others with CBD. And so she became a certified CBD educator. And then she founded Calm Better Days, which is a product and service-based company that curates CBD regimens for you. She walks clients through the CBD basics. What is CBD? How to use it? And the best delivery methods for your individual needs and lifestyle. The ultimate experience and hand holding and curating the journey of wellness and healing using CBD. Amy, thank you so much for making time to do this again. And thank you for being on Hemp Your Health.
Hi, Christy. Thank you for having me. And you know what? I love doing these. We can do it every week.
Yes, we do it every week. So we have a lot to talk about. So this will not be the first and only time you all get to learn from Amy. So I was really drawn to your story because myself, I can relate to anxiety. I can't imagine there's many people out there that can't. And if you don't, you may not even know how anxious you are. Would you warm us up with your story and your why? Why did you start seeking out CBD and how has it been helpful for you?
Well, it started probably about 6 years ago after my second baby. I have been going to a therapist, and the therapist said, do you know you have anxiety and postpartum depression? And at that moment, it never occurred to me that what I was going through was that. And at the time, I was probably at the lowest point in my life. I hated waking up and almost wish that I didn't wake up as an easy solution out. Um, I thankfully I was never had thoughts of harming my kids, but I was very irritable, cranky, highly reactive, and I was that yelling mom, and I hated it. I hated it, but I didn't know what to do about it. I couldn't stop it at the moment. And when my therapist told me that, that was a huge breakthrough. That made me understand, wow, all those symptoms I was exhibiting was because it was anxiety and postpartum depression.
Wow.
So she then suggested that I try CBD because she knew at that time I didn't want pharmaceutical drugs because I wanted something more natural, more holistic. After being a mom, my lifestyle changed. And so I got my medical card. At that time, it was only medically legal. I got my CBD, and there wasn't much direction given except for, here, take these twice a day. And I gotta tell you, it felt like rose colored glasses just came on. All of a sudden, instead of that frantic woman running around shuffling her kids from point A to point B and finishing her task, and having that running list, and it went to being calm and able to see that I was that hamster on the hamster wheel, running and running. I don't even know what I was running from, but I just kept on running. And
Yeah.
when I was finally able to step out of the hamster wheel, I realized, wow, life doesn't need to be like that. One, right? And two, I saw the changes in myself, being more present, more responsive instead of reactive, and able to enjoy and interact with my kids and handle situations instead of just yelling, and feeling that kind of connectedness with my kids, and my all over demeanor and behaviors. I was just blown away. And that's when I started diving into CBD, wondering, how does this work? How amazing is this? And then from that, just doing all my own research, looking everything up, understanding that, wow, this plant can help with not just anxiety and postpartum depression, it can help with so much more. And
Yeah.
then in 2018, that's when the Farm Bill was passed. And, my medical card, though great, was getting very expensive. And now I can get CBD from, any store, yes. Because the market was flooded with it, right? After the Farm Bill passed, the market was flooded with it. And then trying to find a safe and quality product was challenging because there was so much out there. And so I was doing my own research, trying to find safe quality products for myself, and then realized, okay, there's two problems here. One, right, not everyone knows what CBD is and how it works,
Yeah.
how to even take CBD properly to get results, right? Plant medicine is different from, it's much more complex than taking a drug. And
Yes.
two, usually when a person is in desperate need of help, right, they're not in the mindset to, like I said, do the research and find out how to use plant medicine properly. And then two, find a safe quality product in a sea of CBD products.
Yeah.
So that's when Calm Better Days was born, because I want to take them from beginning to end, hold them, guide them, show them how to use it, find the right products for their specific symptoms and lifestyle, and be there for them while they go on their CBD wellness journey.
I love that. And I think we still need that so much. Sometimes it feels like everyone's on CBD because it's everywhere, but it's not true. Still a very small percent of people are on CBD, and a huge amount of people have anxiety. So you have like a long-term job security. Because everyone has an endocannabinoid system.
Yes.
And when it's deficient, it's like a really underactive and failing immune system. It needs support, it needs supplementation. And hemp and CBD can really do the trick because it saturates it, right? It nudges it so it can be fully functioning.
Yes.
Who do you work with the most at Calm Better Days?
Mostly, I would say women. Probably also because I am a woman, a mom, and my issues are anxiety and postpartum depression. So most of my demographic are women. These days, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, insomnia, and pain are the top clients that come to me.
Do you feel like it's easier for them to open up to you and because you can relate personally, and so you have that trust, you have that bond, and you've been through the journey and you know your products.
Absolutely. Especially when I drill down the questions, and because I really want to understand, anxiety shows up in different ways for different people.
Yeah.
And having been through it, I can say, is it the racing thoughts that are keeping you up at night, or is your problem focus, or is it you just need to de-escalate the stress?
Mm,
And it's important for me to find out because we are just scratching the surface with CBD. And we're finding that other cannabinoids, other terpenes, um, that all influences your product.
yeah.
And depending on your specific symptom, we can find the exact tincture that can help your specific issue. For example, I have a tincture that it has adaptogens in it.
Mm,
So if your anxiety shows up with lack of focus and you need to be productive, this tincture has ashwagandha, CBD, lemon balm, and that is going to help your anxiety in two different pathways. So that is great. But let's say your anxiety shows up where you're just really highly stressed and you need to de escalate that. I have another tincture for that with different adaptogens to help with that. So I really like to find out exactly what the symptoms are so I can find you the right product, instead of the common thought that people think, oh, one CBD fits everything, right? Well, we know that
exactly.
it doesn't. One size does not fit all.
Yeah.
And that's what I want people to understand.
This is so powerful. I appreciate that you go so deep into to with women because once someone's liberated and they start talking about it, then you can really like that's where the tailoring comes in. And anxiety, exactly, anxiety and stress is caused by so many different variants. We can't just like you said throw an SSRI at it because it's caused by so many different things. It shows up in so many different ways and it affects so many different systems, like you were saying, the pain and the insomnia and that and the depression and even gut issues, right? Because that's
Yes,
where so much of the 90% of the serotonin is made. And so digestion and motility and nutrient absorption can be really impaired. And that just goes downstream to many other conditions, right? It's
it
all
does.
stress.
Autoimmune disease. I mean, stress is basically the root of it all. If you
Yes.
cannot manage that, it will manifest into something bigger.
Yes. Yeah, they say that 95% of all diseases or conditions have their roots in stress. And, stress it doesn't, it's not receptor specific. It can that inflammation and that cortisol can affect any system, any tissue, any gland, the brain, and so you can't do a one size fits all, which is why I love what you do because it also requires, and you probably coach people on being open and experimental.
Yes, being open and experimenting is very important because a person is one, they everybody has their own unique dosage depending on what they're treating, their genetic makeup, their lifestyle in terms of diet, exercise, adequate sleep.
Yeah.
And then no two CBD products are alike as well. And they may find that they will have different results with two different products, even two different delivery methods. So I always encourage them to track everything, track what you're taking, how much, how you're feeling before you take it, and how you're feeling after you take it.
Wow.
And that's, that'll get you there to find your dosage and to know which product is best for you. And this gets us into the practice of listening to our body, which I
Ooh.
think is so important because we've become a society where we don't listen to our bodies until it screams. And usually by the time it screams, it's a little bit too late to do, preventive. Now we got to use pharmaceutical drugs to really help. Otherwise, it usually would be a longer process if you're trying to do natural or holistic.
Yeah. And I think it's okay to still take the long journey, right?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
the screaming didn't happen overnight. And you can, the thing I love about but hemp is that you can have results so fast without the, an SSRI can take 4 to 8 weeks to really start to work. And there's tons of side effects before you even have some success with it. But with hemp, because it's building that communication, right? And I was talking to a pharmacist yesterday, and he's like, yes, the ECS builds the communication because you can't fix something that can't communicate. And so
Yeah.
that communication starts to happen. And then it's like, oh, we need it for the neuroprotectiveness because the brain inflammation is so out of control, or the serotonin in the gut, or maybe the hormones. So it's so cool. And I love, can you say that again one more time? You got to listen to the body before it starts to scream.
Yes, we have to learn to listen to our body before it screams.
So what are some of those symptoms? You've obviously talked and worked with many, many women. For those women that are listening that are like, I don't know if my body's whispering or screaming.
Yes.
What is a whisper and what does a scream look like? And sort of in between too, because we could be all
Yeah.
over the place.
Um, well, do you mean for anxiety?
Yeah, for all the reasons, like, for all the reasons someone may be like, could CBD help me?
Yes. So when my anxiety and depression showed up in, let's see, I did not want to get out of bed. I did not want to start my day. Um, because when you're depressed, you just want to crawl away and, you know, live under a rock. But anxiety also showed up in racing thoughts, that ongoing to-do list, feeling like you need to rush from point A to point B to finish all the tasks, and irritability, you know, angry, resentment. Um, and, now I see that I was putting the blame on someone else because I didn't know what it was. And finally, I understood, no, it's just, anxiety and me, and understanding that those are just thoughts and they are not you. And
Mm,
that took me, when you're going through it, you sometimes don't know that.
yeah.
It's only when I took the CBD, like I said, I was like that hamster that finally was able to step out of the wheel, and I saw all that.
Mm.
And, if I was not able to see all that, there's no way I could have, done anything to fix it. So that's why CBD really helped me a lot. In a lot of ways, it saved me.
This is so amazing because I totally agree. Stress creates this feedback loop, right? Where you're literally just stuck in this loop, and it's that hamster wheel, and there's no, like, you can't shift out of it. You wake up in it, you stay in it, you go to sleep in it, and then you can't sleep because that feedback loop is relentless. And
Yes.
then one of the roles of the endocannabinoid system is really to figure out where the stress and the trauma and the injuries are so it can repair it, right? It can bring relaxation in. And it also helps us forget, which is why it helps so much with the PTSD and everything you're explaining. The spectrum of PTSD is anxiety, overwhelm, depression, insomnia. And so these are all things that could going, if they're left, to only build and go bigger, that feedback loop in those conditions are going to worsen. They are going to turn into bigger and better, worse, not better.
Yeah,
They're going to turn into bigger
yes.
conditions and more
And
systemic.
and at the time, when it was getting more worse, I was hormonally imbalanced. I had cystic acne, and my health was just going down. But I
Oh,
didn't know how to fix it or take care of it. So after I was on the CBD, I saw that my face was clearing up because the stress was not so overwhelming anymore. And well, and also CBD is great for inflammation, which what acne is. And my face used to also get shiny in an hour because it used to overproduce sebum.
wow.
That is gone now as well. So from using CBD for my anxiety and postpartum depression, I have found that my body has gotten stronger, has healed. It's hormonally balanced now. I don't have the cystic acne. I don't get shiny in an hour. I used to have horrible PMS symptoms. Like everything would come out, migraines, backaches, cramps. Now I don't have any symptoms. I need a period tracker to know when my period is coming. And I was in a car accident and used to always have a perpetual knot here, and now
Wow.
that is gone too. So slowly it has, you know rebuilt my body and healed it, that now I feel stronger. And back to about, your question about how does your body scream or, not scream, right? There are days when I do forget to take CBD, and when I feel the tension building up again, the tightness in my chest or the muscle stress tension building, now I am aware of those signs and I go, oh, I forgot my CBD. So taking it before and after, your body knows and you can feel it.
Yeah.
And it does take practice in the beginning if you haven't, you know, learned to listen to your body in a long time. But as you're tracking, and you'll notice that, oh wow, all these symptoms I used to feel. And what I always tell my clients, list down all your symptoms that you're feeling before you take it and rate them between 1 to 10, 1 being okay, 10 being at its worst. And when you start taking CBD, you're going to have different results from day 1 versus day 10 versus day 30 in. Track it every day and you'll see that that 10 will go to a 1. And when it does, it's amazing. I remember when, I didn't feel anxiety and depression, and I was like, oh my gosh, this must be what it feels like to feel normal, to not
Yeah.
suffer from anything. And it just felt so foreign because I haven't felt it in so long. I was like, wow, it's amazing.
It is amazing. I don't think that's one point I really want to emphasize for our listeners. I did not know what normal was either. I thought my anxiety and my overwhelm and that need to constantly withdraw because of the overwhelm was normal. I didn't start taking hemp or CBD because of my anxiety. I was taking it for cancer prevention and I didn't think I was going to feel anything because I was using it preventative. This was a long time ago. I didn't know very much. And it was mind boggling when I started to observe myself not reacting and feeling the resilience that was coming back and going, wow, like I've got this. I don't
Yes.
have to go hide or go to sleep for 12 hours or, avoid people's phone calls. I can and it was always the little things that triggered me. It wasn't like the big stuff. It was forgetting something at the grocery store and just like having a meltdown. Like
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
not normal.
I used to have a lot of those meltdowns. And when you're going through it, you think it's okay. And and that's not normal. And
Right.
so seeing the before and after, night and day. And that's why I'm a
I
big
love that. Yes, and it's so important that you have people track because it's so easy to forget how bad you were feeling if you don't go back and go, wow, here's like an actual physical measurement because you don't remember your pain. You don't
yes.
remember your PMS. You don't remember the migraines that like were so distracting because you're just feeling normal in the moment.
Yes, we don't. It's very easy to forget pain. I think that's why moms have keep having babies, right? Like they forget it until you're giving birth, and then you're like, oh man, now I
Oh
remember.
my gosh. Well, I want to dig in a little bit more to some of your products. Do you do ingestibles and topicals?
Yes, I do everything. Ingestibles, topicals, inhalation, um, and edibles. It's wonderful these days because there's everything. We have chocolate, honey, capsules, if you like, good old capsules. And yeah, gummies are a huge hit because it's portable, convenient, easy to take. And, I like to use the edibles as a way of a afternoon treat for myself.
I like that. And it's so nice that you get to have, as a someone who's coming to see you, they can really have their hand held. Because I think one of the reasons people don't try CBD is because they're kind of like, how do I take this? And they're scared there's going to be side effects, like they're going to be high or it's going to be too sedative. And that's why the curating is really incredible. One of the many reasons I was drawn to you is because I thought something that's really missing in this industry is, you know, how, when, delivery methods, things like that. Which leads me to my other thing I want to bring up, that a service that you're bringing on is what is it called? Leaf 414.
Oh, yes, yes, I'm excited about that. Yeah, so I'm going to have Leaf 411, which is a nonprofit organization of cannabis nurses. So, and I understand the one going for anyone going into trying CBD is overwhelming, right? We go into a store and there's a gazillion products. And then their other concern also is, okay, like you were saying, if I'm on existing medication, what then? Will it interact? So they can go to my website, call Leaf 411, and ask the Canon nurse every question that they want. It's a free service, and they can ask exactly, well, I have medication XYZ. Will it be okay? And if they need more instruction, they can call, whenever their medication changes. And that's a way for them to feel confident and comfortable knowing that, okay, it is safe. I have a nurse here who is experienced with cannabis and prescription drugs to make sure that I'm going to be okay. So the idea is that I handhold them in the beginning, how to use CBD, introduce them to the right products for them. And then if they need to, if they're on existing medication, they can call Lee 411. And let's say down the line, they give CBD a try and they find that their pain or their symptom is may need more than CBD. I also have Presto Doctor, which is a virtual application for a medical card. So if they need the THC, they can virtually apply and only pay for the service if they qualify, which
Wow.
was very different because when I applied for my medical card, I had to go into the doctor's office hoping that my symptom would qualify. And even if it did not qualify, then I would still have to pay for the doctor's fee. So this is great that they can do it virtually and only pay if they qualify for a medical card.
That is
And
beautiful.
one more thing that I'm adding to my website is Tetragram, which is it's an app, a digital app that they can use to track their CBD type, so they can know, okay, and they can list the terpenes, the different cannabinoids, so they can find out for themselves while I'm tracking this CBD with this terpene linalool was really working for me. And because I always tell all my clients to track it down with a piece of paper and pen, and most of them don't do it. So I'm hoping with a digital app makes it super easy. You just gotta hit the buttons and you can track it. You can track your dosage and track which strains or which terpenes are working for you. So the idea is to make Calm Better Days their one-stop destination for CBD wellness.
Wow. I think you've covered all the ways. Like someone's like, a lot of people are on prescription drugs. And so this gives them confidence and it removes all the excuses, right? There's medical experts, there's tracking, and there's more services if they need the extra stronger cannabinoids like THC. It's beautiful. I think it's so conscious of you. Thank you for providing this service for people, because Lord knows we need it. We all have an endocannabinoid system. And I love to remind people, even if you don't understand what the endocannabinoid system is, it's huge, it's vast, it's buried in all your tissues and organs and systems and throughout your brain. And it's very much like supplementing your immune system. And we all know that's important. And this is even bigger. And it governs and it supports and it facilitates all these systems. So when it's signaling and hearing where the imbalances are, everything starts to feel better faster.
Absolutely. And if they don't know, they can book a consultation with me and I will go over that with them, because it's very important for me that I explain that to them, because I always want everyone to know before they start CBD, how does it work in your body? Because once you have that understanding, then you'll have a better gauge of what's going on in your body and know how to use it properly.
That makes so much sense, because sometimes CBD sounds too good to be true. Because it does work so systemically. So when you hold someone's hand and you explain like how, where, and why, then it starts to make sense.
Absolutely.
So how do people find you?
They can find me on my website, calmbetterdays.co, and they can book a consultation right there. And they can also find me on Instagram at calm_better_days. And for all the viewers there, you can use the promo HYH, Hemp Your Health, for 10% off their purchases.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. There was some massive helicopter or plane going over when you just said your website. Do you mind? I don't know if you could hear it, but it's all I could hear. Could
Oh,
you say your
wow.
website one more time?
Yes, my website is calmbetterdays.co. CO.
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Any closing thoughts?
Just that, it's not one size fits all and it's a lot more complex, but once you get it and you have, someone guiding you, It is easy. It is very easy. And you're going to wonder, wow, why didn't I start that sooner?
Why did I not know what normal is?
Right.
Amy, I think you are a wealth of information. I think it's obvious that you lead with your heart. You're highly intelligent. You know this subject matter so in depth. So I hope you call Amy. I hope you start this journey of healing and normalizing and bringing resilience back to your fight and flight response, because when it starts to shrink, those stressors are not going to be contributing to health and healing. They're going to be doing the opposite. And then you never know what's in that pipeline when you keep constantly triggering inflammation on top of inflammation on top of imbalances. Yes. So I hope you come back. I consider you such a good friend and a colleague now. And I love your services. And I think it's very needed in this industry.
Thank you, Christy. And I will be back anytime. We've got more cannabinoids to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So part 2, minor, which I think they also now almost some of them are majors, cannabinoids and terpenes.
Yes, yes.
I love it. Everyone, thank you for showing up. Thank you for your patience. Remember, go hemp your health and enjoy life. Bye.